Hello and good morning, everyone. Happy Tuesday to you. My name is Mika McLinden. Welcome to the ABCs of Finance moment. Well, this is a dreary kind of like Tuesday here because it's going to be raining today. So we're gonna do it. You might hear some thunder. It's thundering now. You might hear some of that in the background, but we're going to do what we need to do to try to get through our ABCs of Finance moment. So hopefully, internet and everything stays connected for us, and we're able to stay on point. That's the whole thing, right? So we're going to do our best to do that. Again, welcome. My name is Mika McLinden. And again, this is the Amazing Rare Ruby's ABCs of Finance moment. And today we're going to talk about net worth. We're going to talk about net worth today. But before we do begin to talk about net worth, of course, I want to cover some different things with you about why we do this, because it's important to have and increase our financial literacy one step at a time. So we call the benefits around financial literacy and the benefits around our finance class, we call them lamps. This is where we believe that God is a lamp unto our feet, a light unto our path, and that's Psalms 119, 105. So the acronym he gave us around this lamps is as follows. The L is for literacy. This is where we are working to enhance and increase our knowledge and our skills. And as we begin to enhance and increase our knowledge and our skills, right, it helps us make informed and intelligent decisions when it comes down to our money. And that is important. We've got to begin to make some informed decisions. If this pandemic and the last couple of years has not taught us anything else, it has taught us the importance of that. Number 2, A is for accountability. This is where we need to be good stewards over our money. Bottom line, we need to be good stewards over what God has trusted us with. And part of the ABCs of Finance class, which we offer, walks through how we can be a good steward over money so we can understand it, so we can have a better relationship with it. Because a lot of us have a relationship. I know I used to have the relationship of, make money, spend money, make money, spend money. And I didn't have the part that talked about how to make it, spend it based on my necessities, grow it as I need to, etc. I didn't have all of that. So that's part of what we learn when we begin to talk about financial literacy as well. The M is for management, where we can manage our allocations. We can make decisions that are going to be beneficial to us, meaning that instead of us just doing off the cuff, very instant type things, we're going to make the type of decisions that's going to help us when we're looking at allocating our money where it should go. And then there's the P for planning. Planning is controlling our income, controlling our expenses, saving and investing. Yes, we need to be doing that, right? Because we need to be looking at different ways of how we can build wealth and grow wealth. And then the S is for stability, right? This is having a solid foundation when it comes down to our finances. Bottom line, having a solid foundation when it comes down to our finances. Okay, so let's do some talking. Let's talk about net worth, right? What is net worth? Right? What does that mean to us? Well, your net worth is pretty simple. I'm going to give you the formula for it. And it's not even about, when we hear net worth, a lot of times we think that you have to have millions and millions of dollars. You need to be a celebrity in order to have a net worth. No. If you're bringing income in and expenses are going out, if you're saving or any of that, you have a net worth. Yes, you do. And here's the thing about net worth. Your net worth can be positive or negative. Our goal is for net worth to be positive. You got it. We don't want a negative net worth. We want a positive net worth, a net worth that is going to add value to us, not things that are going to take away that value and put us at a high credit risk, or, put us at a point where people don't want a loan or people don't want to invest in not just us. It could be your vision for the future, a business or what have you. And sometimes when you're building your own legacy, you're building your own business and you're becoming an entrepreneur, you need people to invest in you. And if your net worth is not looking good, positive, right, it may have some people kind of going, I'm not quite sure I want to invest in helping that person. So let's look at what is that formula when we talk about net worth, right? Your net worth is going to be your assets minus your liabilities. Your net worth is going to be your assets minus your liabilities. Now, here's the thing. Again, net worth can be positive or negative. We are looking for a positive net worth here, a positive net worth. So what you want to do with your net worth to understand it and find out, you want to add up all of your assets. What are your assets? Assets are going to be those things, again, that's going to add value to you. So what add value? What are some of those things? A house, right? It could add value. It has equity. It's increasing in its value. That's going to be part of your net worth. If you own your car, keyword own, not you're still paying a car note, not you're leasing, but if you own your car, right? Whatever that car is worth, Kelley Blue Book value or other things that you can look at, that could add value to your net worth, right? Do you have stocks? Do you have bonds? Do you have a savings account? Do you have a 401k? Those are things that's going to add value to your net worth. And notice now, I did not say your income, because your income is not part of your net worth. So don't add in your, monthly or biweekly income. That's not part of your net worth. No, that's something that you use to help build your net worth. Okay. So you're going to list out all of your assets, those things that add value to you. Then you're going to deduct your liabilities. What are liabilities? These are things that you owe that take away value. These are things like if you do have a car note, that is a liability because you don't own it yet, right? We're speaking into existence that we're going to be owning some cars and things around here, not just paying car notes and leasing. But right now, if you are paying a car note, it is a liability. It's not adding value to you right now, right? What are some other things that are liabilities? A credit card, one of the worst debts you can have. That's a liability because you are owing someone. So what you want to do is truly sit down, add up your assets, deduct your liabilities. So you're going to write all of those out too. And I mean all of them. So many times we'll have like a credit card with $150 on it and say, oh, I'm not going to add that in because I'm going to pay it off next week when I get paid. If it's not zero now, add it down as a liability. So you can truly see your net worth. And you want to understand, is my net worth positive or is my net worth negative? That's going to be important. And yes, you have one. You do not have to be a celebrity or a multimillionaire to have a net worth. It's good to look and see where you are right now with your current status. What does your net worth look like? Okay, so let's look at some stats here as well. The average American right now has a net worth of $121,000. And for some, that may sound like a lot of money, but it's not a lot of money when you look at average expenses of a household being about $5,000 or more a month. Ooh, that does not last as long, and it's going to depend on what that net worth is comprised of, right? It's a difference in having $121,000 worth of net worth versus $121,000 cash, plus owning a house, plus owning cars, or plus having a 401k. That looks a little different, right? But the actual net worth for Americans right now, the average is 121,000 total. And that's including if they own a home or if they have cash. So why is this important? Let's kind of walk through some of this, right? Well, the median income right now, if you look at the national debt clock, the median income right now is about $35,786. Really, I got it right at what they have here. That's what they have as of today. $35,786 is the average, is the median income for Americans right now. So let's kind of dig into this, and we're going to use that number, right? So let's keep it in line with what we're seeing out there so we can look at some reasonable stuff, right? This is a median income. And when you look at that national debt clock, it shows kind of like everybody, right? Because they can tell you how many people we have here, how many are working, how many are unemployed, how many's in debt, how many's not in debt, all of this stuff. But what it's doing is taking the median. It's taking, here's kind of like where the majority or the median of folks is falling. So we're going to take that $35,786. We're going to use that today to help us understand, if this is our income, how much should we really have, right, as a net worth right now? And this is a rule of thumb. This is not going to be something that is etched in stone. It's going to be a rule of thumb for you as we walk through this, okay? So what does that formula look like? Here you go. Here's the formula. You're going to take your age divided by 10, and then you're going to multiply that by your current salary. And we're going to use, for this example, we're going to use the median, right? We're going to use that $35,786. That's what we're going to use right now. So again, but you can do this for yourself, for your own, right? You're going to take your age divided by 10 and multiply that by your current salary. So let's look at that. Let's take a deeper look at that, right? So I use the age 40, and no, I'm not 40 anymore, but I use the age 40, right? Hey, it made me feel good. That's all I can say about that. So you're going to take your age. So we're saying today we're all 40 years old. We're going to divide that 40 by 10, and that gives us 4, right? And then we're going to say 4 times our salary. And today for this, we're using the $35,786, which is the median that the US shows right now, right? The $35,786 equals $143,144. So if you are 40 years old right now today, you're making $35,000 a year. Your net worth should be around, because again, this isn't etched in stone, right? This is to be a guide. Your net worth should be about $143,144. That's what your net worth should be. Now, when you sit down and you begin to calculate your net worth, right? Because you're looking at your assets minus your liabilities is going to equal your net worth. When you sit down and do that, ask yourself, am I on point with where I need to be? Because remember, again, the average right now is $121,000. Now, here's what's interesting, and I don't have this chart to put up for you, but I can kind of give it to you a little bit here. And so when you look at individuals' net worth by age group, excuse me, you look at net worth, pardon me. You look at net worth by age group, what you'll find is individuals who are less than 35 have a net worth of $14,000 or less. So if by 40, if I'm even using the median and if I'm making $35,000, by 40, I should be at 100 and what was it? 140. Let's look at what that was. What was it? There it is, $143,000. Well, individuals that's 35 or less are averaging 14,000. So we're behind the 8 ball right there. And then it shows that most by age, right, don't even get up to where we are at 100,000 until they're 35 to 44. And that 100,000 is like maybe 5 to 10% that's up there. Most individuals, by the time they're 35 to 34, are at about 50,000. So that tells us we're behind the 8 ball on what our net worth should be. So we've got to understand how to calculate this thing. And then what I suggest to individuals is that you have a dream net worth goal. Yes, have a goal. What's your dream? Isn't that what they said in the movie Pretty Woman? What's your dream? You know, where you want to be in life. Yeah, you got to have a goal. What is your dream net worth goal? What does that look like for you? Somebody may say, shoot, I want $500,000. Great, $500,000 is your dream net worth goal. By when? Because if you're 40 years old right now, and you do the formula that I gave you, and we use the national median salary, which is $35,786, right? If you do that, if you're 40 right now, you should have $143,000 worth of net worth at 40. And this is to be in the median. Not saying that's where we should be. This is kind of like a guide to say, well, even am I tracking kind of a little bit here where I need to be? You got to ask yourself that. Now, again, when people are 35 to 44, a lot of that median is at 50,000. So that tells us we're not tracking. We're not tracking. We got to learn and understand what our net worth truly should look like. Again, so I'm going to give you that formula. I'm going to put it up here again so we can make sure you have it. It's going to be your age divided by 10, and you're going to multiply that by your salary. Your age divided by 10, multiply that by your salary. And how are you going to get all of your information? You're going to take your assets minus your liabilities and do everything. Don't cheat yourself. Do not cheat yourself. Don't lie to yourself about it. You can't lie to yourself. The mirror reflects what it sees, right? You know when you do it, whether you're being truthful or not. Add up all of your assets, not your income. Remember, income is not included in net worth. Add up all of your assets. Deduct all of your liabilities. Now, I know as we're going through this, some may have a question, say, well, where should I be if I'm trying to retire? Because, I'm not at 40. I'm 50 plus, or, I'm going on 60. Where should I be if I'm trying to retire? I will give you a rule of thumb that's another ABCs of Finance moment topic, kind of like, but I will give you a guide or a rule of thumb, I should say, on that. So a lot depends also on whether or not you have a pension with your job. One of the things that we're finding today is that a lot of companies no longer offer pensions. And there's a lot behind that. I tell people all the time, if I had not owned my own staffing agency and been a business owner myself, I would not understand how a lot of those particular things work. But if you don't have a pension, your numbers need to be a little bit higher. Okay. And that's just really being truthful, because you've got to look at how much money do I need per month, right, to live in retirement. The formula that most individuals recommend is going to be where you need at least 80% of your current income. It needs at least 80%. So I'm going to grab my phone here, and we're going to get to my calculator here. And let's just say you make $60,000 a year, right? You're going to deduct that 80%. And basically that's saying you need $48,000 a year in retirement. So then you would need to look at, because, when people retire, you got to plan that thing out, right? How long are you expecting to be in retirement? Most of us retire, we still want to live 20, 30, 40 years. I mean, I'm just saying, right? We're not trying to go in, as soon as we retire, 5 years after, right? So if you're looking at $48,000 a year, and let's just do some simple math here. As I said, this is just a guide. And this is kind of like a separate ABCs of Finance moment, but some people still need to know this to understand what their net worth needs to be if they are thinking about, right, retirement. So $48,000, and let's just say you're retiring at the age of 60 and you want to at least plan for 25 years, right? So 48,000 times 25 years is going to be $1.1 million, basically 1.14 to be exact. And that's for a person to retire basically using $48,000 a year. That's $48,000 a year is not like you just living rich high off the hog, right? It is above the median that we talked about today, which the median we know is 35,786, right? But it's not like it's a whole lot above that. And using $48,000 a year, that's not like we said, that's like a overflowing retirement amount. But if you're looking at that, you're going to need about $1.4 million, 1.1, excuse me, 1.14. I am tongue tied today. $1.14 million to be in retirement a good 20 years, 25 years, right? So if you're looking at retirement, you do need to think about that when it comes down to your net worth. What does that look like, right? What does that mean? How can I make sure I am ready for that? So retirement these days, especially again, without a pension, that's going to be a little bit harder. Again, you're going to need about 1.1 million for yourself. And that's the other key. When people retire, I remember I was doing a speaking engagement and a young lady in the audience, bless her heart, she had retired. She had done everything. She was like, everything you're saying, I did it, but I'm still struggling. I saved, I put my money over here. I have my retirement, etc., but I'm still struggling. Now, she went on to share her story. The reason she was struggling is because when she saved for her retirement, she saved for her. Use the example we just talked about. If I need $1.1 million just to be able to have $48,000 a year for 25 years, as an example, in retirement, if that's what I need for me, if I'm trying to take care of somebody else, which was her issue, she had 2 kids that were grown and life happened and they moved back home. Well, her retirement was based on one person. Her net worth was based on one person. Her net worth was not there for 3 people. So as she began to try to take care of 3 people, it wasn't enough. What happened? Unfortunately, she went back in debt. She charged on credit cards. She had to get loans. And so now here she was, a retired person in debt. But she did everything right. Where she messed up was her retirement was for one person. Her retirement was not for her grown children to move back home and she take care of them. When that happened, and I'm only using 48,000 on here as an example. I don't know what her retirement was. It doesn't matter. But let's just say you did that for yourself and your yearly retirement is $48,000 because you used to make 60, right? You need at least 80% to live off of. You do the math, that's $48,000, right? So you got $48,000 a year for you to retire. But guess what? You're now taking care of grown folks. You didn't plan for that. So yeah, it could get you back in trouble, which is unfortunately what happened. So as you're going through this exercise, what I want you to do is be true to yourself. Understand your assets minus your liabilities. Write it all down. There's nothing like writing a vision, make it plain. Habakkuk 2:2. That's what, write the vision, make it plain. Write it out, make it plain. Do not lie to yourself, right? Where am I truly with my assets minus my liabilities, right? Once you have that, right, take your income and do the formula that we talked about. You're going to take your age, and the one that we used here is 40. So you're going to take your age, divide it by 10, and multiply it by your salary. When you do that, here's the example we use. I'm 40 years old, ha, 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 and I'm sticking with it, right? But 40 years old, divided by 10, that's going to give you 4. You're going to multiply that by your current salary. And the answer should be your current net worth right now. As a rule of thumb, again, this is not in stone, not in stone, not in stone. This is a guide, right? Your net worth should be about $143,000. If you're 40 years old, divide that by 10, multiply that by your current salary. If you're making $35,786. And yes, that is the current salary median wise when you look at our national US debt clock. That's the average right now as of this morning. Okay. So if you're in that bucket, your net worth should be about $143,000 right now. Yes, it should. Okay. So here's the formula again, because you may not be 40 and that may not be your salary, but here's the formula again. So I can make sure you have that down. Okay. Your age divided by 10 times your current salary. And you're going to do that. And you're going to do the exercise that says assets minus liability is my net worth. Once you have the answer to assets minus liabilities, understanding where your net worth is, The other thing is to say, is my net worth aligned with where I should be based on my age? Okay. Is my net worth aligned with where I should be based on my age? And here's the thing. When you sit down and do the assets minus liabilities, you may find that your net worth could be negative. We don't want that. That means we have a lot of work to do to get out of that. Okay. Because net worth can be positive or negative, guys. It's not all about being everybody ends up in the positive. And again, with the average American debt being $90,000 per household, and that is including a mortgage, but everybody doesn't have a mortgage. So that's when you look at these averages, you got to realize what's factored into that as well. So you have people that rent and people that own homes or almost own home, right? But that's a better debt, right? You have both of those buckets in the average. Okay. So $90,000 is still a lot of money when you talk about people owing. And then credit cards, there's a whole nother thing, right? As far as the big lump sum that is in that $90,000. Okay. So do the math so that you understand where you are with your own net worth. Okay. Now, of course, I want to share with you our Amazing Rare Rubies has our 2-day free virtual money basics workshop. That workshop is going to be tonight. It starts tonight, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then the second day is tomorrow, Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's not too late to sign up. Again, this is free. This is not something you have to pay for. What are we going to talk about? That's what you would want to know. Well, this particular boot camp is going to focus on why is financial literacy important? If we know it's important, why don't we do it? Now that's a good piece right there when we really begin to understand why most of us don't work to enhance our financial literacy. We're going to talk about that. And then we're also going to talk about on Wednesday, we're going to talk about the 6 basic things everybody needs to know about your finances. And guess what? Net worth is one of them. Yeah, net worth is one. Most people don't know. Classes that I've done, if I get 1 or 2 people that actually know what their net worth is, that is a good thing. Most people do not know what that is. That's one of the things that we're going to talk about in this basic boot camp, in this money basic boot camp. And again, it's free. So I encourage you, join us if you are available tonight, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. It's only 1 hour of your time. And then tomorrow, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Of course, to sign up, you can go to www.amazingrarerubies.com, and then you can go to our ABCs of Finance tab and register. Now, if you have your phone with you right now, you can also scan that QR code that you see on the screen, and that'll take you directly to our website. I'll leave that up for just a moment, just in case you want to scan that. That'll take you to our website where you can sign up. Once you sign up, we will email you because you have to give us your email address. So yes, that's the cost, right? That's the whole cost of signing up. We get your email address so that we can send you the Zoom information, the Zoom link for tonight's boot camp. And we're going to talk about, again, understanding why financial literacy is important. What is financial literacy? And if we know it's important and we know what it is, why aren't we learning? Why aren't we enhancing our financial literacy? Why aren't we making sure that we have positive net worth? We're going to talk about those things. And then tomorrow, we're going to talk about the 6 basic things everybody needs to know about their finances. We have other boot camps that's also going to be coming up later, where we're going to end up talking about interest rates, and we're going to end up talking about credit cards and all these different things that we may have that we don't necessarily understand, because the whole goal is for us to enhance our financial literacy one step at a time. So that's going to be the other thing that we're going to talk about. So again, you can sign up for the boot camp at www.amazingrarerubies.com. Now, after boot camp, we suggest that you take the ABCs of Finance class. The ABCs of Finance class is where we're going to teach you how to attain debt-free status, budget down to zero, and create cash flow. And I know a lot of you say, well, nobody want to learn how to budget down to zero. We don't like budgeting. Well, I will tell you, budgeting can really, really enhance your overall net worth. Knowing where your money is going can truly enhance your overall net worth. So I want you to know how to budget. And the thing is, there's going to be different types of budgets. So that's one of the big pieces there, right? The budget is not a one fits all. Budget is going to be, I need to see where I am, right? So that I can do the budget and I can apply what's important for me where I actually am in life. And that's what we're going to show you how to do in that ABCs of Finance class. So we encourage you, definitely attend the boot camp. Definitely come and join us and get the free information. It's not going to hurt you to get free information. Come and get that information. Once you have it, then we want you to sign up for that ABCs of Finance class. The ABCs of Finance class is going to be a 4-part series. So it's one day a week. And we normally do a Thursday or a Saturday. And I have my Saturday class going right now. And it goes for 4 weeks, right? So it's 4 Saturdays in a row or 4 Thursdays in a row. And the class is 2 hours per session. So it is literally a 8-hour class that you're getting. And guess what? The investment is $100. That's it. It's $100. That's not a lot when you're talking about investing in enhancing your own financial literacy. $100 is not a lot. And then we do have a workbook, and this is all very, very optional. Everybody says I should make it part of the class, but I give people their options. I'm praying about that thing there. But we have this book. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this QR code down so you guys can see the book a little bit easier. There we go. So this is the book. This is our ABCs of Finance workbook. And of course, you can see mine is all tab. I'm a tabber, right? And in this workbook, we're going to go over things and you get to write your answers in. Of course, mine looks a little crazy, but that's okay because I use mine to help me teach as well. But this book is $15 for the class. It follows along with the class where you can write that information in. All 4 parts are in this book. The book is available at Amazon, or it's available directly from Amazing Rare Rubies on our website. You can actually purchase it. But we encourage you to take the ABCs of Finance class, that 4-part series. Our website is updated with updated classes if you're interested in doing that. So, of course, as always with Amazing Rare Rubies, we pray that our information has been very beneficial to you. We encourage you to always, always, always keep God in every decision made, every lesson learned, and every message taught. So don't forget, do your homework. Assets minus liabilities is going to equal your net worth. And then you want to do that math. Don't forget, take your age, divide it by 10, multiply that, whatever that answer is, by your salary. So take your age, divide that by 10, get the answer, right? Whatever that answer is, multiply that by your current salary. And that's going to tell you where your current net worth should be as a guide. Okay? Again, until next time, keep God in every decision made, lesson learned, message taught. And until we meet again, you make sure you have a Ruby day. Thanks so much for joining, and you guys stay blessed.